Alright, so welcome to Mamoli Lexington Part 7. I'm Rich, this is my show, Armor Max Models. Today, well, I kind of liked that last format I did for Part 6, and I haven't gotten any comments saying that my head's up my butt yet, so yeah, I'm going to be following more of that format, maybe little bits of time-lapse. Not doing the complete, suffer with me shtick like I used to. No one else seems to do it, and honestly, you're here to enjoy yourself, not suffer. And I like suffer through all this all the time, where I do time-lapse of everything. It says 5mm hole. Must mean I need a 5mm drill. Only since I'm in... Oh, hold on. Maybe my stubbornness is paid off. Maybe I was smart, and I got a drill set that was in God's units, i.e. metric. Fight me. Sadly, no metric drill, so I have to use a 1/4" one to do the job so I can fit the rudder in there. So, that's an unpleasant hole. Looks a lot better on the other side, but I'm going to have to fix that. Probably with a bit of glue and a bit of, cutting and stuff. But, another thing I'm going to want to cut is here. Because, yeah, this might interfere with some of the look of that, whatchamahoo's, it's the rudder. There we go, yeah. Let's first check, though, see if it really would, or if there's some picture on here that says, I don't need to do this next bit. Nothing there. Huh? Okay, nothing really there. Back there. See, there's nothing there on this that's really telling me it is absolutely essential. Until I look maybe a little closer. They need some higher res pictures or something. Wait a minute. Aha! So that is... Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Oh yeah, but if I shave all this, it's going to look horrible. Oh. And then I go ahead and, just, shape everything up. I use that Dremel to do it. It's got like that milling end bit on it. Not like the round one, but the other one that's actually, a cylinder meant more for milling stuff out. I use that to even things out and pretty things up. And this is the end of this time-lapse clip. Alright. So yeah, the thing keeps saying that how this should have some distance, so I know it's not the 4mm it asked for, but it's as close as I'm gonna get. And now for even more shaping at that back, and a bunch of hemming and hawing about the instructions and trying to find what step goes where and all that, and then some sanding things down to try to be able to fit that little thin bit of planking over the edges of the keel. Alright, end of this time-lapse too. Alright, so I know you ain't gonna catch much details from there, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm just a bit too lazy to take the camera down at this particular moment. But what I'm doing here is just covering up this kind of ugly back section I've got with some planking of its own, which I'm supposed to do, but I'm pretty sure I made a mistake on what planks went where. Oh well, I'm sure I'll learn where they should have gone later and then kick myself even harder, but by the time I learned I might be making a mistake, I'd already glued some of these down. Come on, there we go. Alright, so now what I'm doing is again just laying on glue and okay, there we go. And while that's going, can I pull this down? Let go. Hold on. Yes, I can. Come on. Hey, nothing broke. So, yeah. Now, as you can see pretty clearly, that back bit, not really the nicest looking. So that's why I'm covering it with this planking kind of thing. Really pretty that up. Alright, that's what I wanted to share here. Alright, not sure if this is the clearest shot, but as you can see, plenty of progress planking this. A little problem though is that these are one width and this is another. What to do? Well, yeah, the reason I'm doing it is because I don't know where any more of these little strips are. But I still gotta plank this thing. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to kind of mask things together easily, or that it won't be too noticeable when I'm done. Oh, well, what was it that Bob Ross said? Happy little accidents? I have a different name for them, but yeah, let's go with that, shall we? Yeah, there we go. Mirror, right here. Alright, yeah, I'm in the view close enough. Close enough. Alright, so I want to do it with this, but I'm thinking it might be better if I can find it in my little mess I've created for myself here. Isn't that the way you never clean up until you can't find something and it turns out it was right in front of you the whole time? That's how this is probably gonna go. Bingo! Yeah, come here you go. Come here. Finally, use for this guy. So, also I realized I put this on a bit different than the way I kind of wanted to. It's just that these will have the same, this and the other one will have the, they won't be flipped on the way these boards are going. But the reason I'm having them go across one another is so that they'll, the strength will be higher. Because, you know, one set of boards will resist things in one direction, the other set will resist things in the other direction. So that'll work quite well. Now the kit says I'm supposed to use different thickness of these to, there we go, come on, there we go, perfect. Alright. And actually that's not too bad. That will fit reasonably well. Okay, goody goody. Maybe a slight sanding just to even things up, but okay. Now this bit, what I did the last time is I broke out the old coping saw and I cut it like that. So I'm not sure if you can see it from there, but I can move the camera. And then you get to watch me cut this thing out. Alright. Get done with this planking section, so now it's different stuff to do. Oh, so here's a fun one while I'm cutting this up. So, those of you more veteran to the channel, or have kept up better with the Dreadnought series, will remember me making much hullabaloo about the submarine mine store on that boat being so close to a bow that was meant for ramming. And then I thought about it a little more. You know, if they are ramming a ship, they've probably run out of shells, or they're just desperate to take the thing to hell with them. That was deliberate. They were looking for an explosive finish. Alright, so as you can hopefully see, can you see that in the camera? Let's just take a quick look. And not even the right angle. Okay, let's just go ahead and correct that camera angle then, so you can see. Alright, that's really close. Hold on a second. There we go. Alright, perfect. Sort of. So yeah, what I'm doing is I move this up until, well, not this strip. This strip's a little too wide. Here we are. Here's the strip I was working with. Right there. I move it up till just about it touches. And I see what's parallel to this board at this point. Cut that line. It's just about parallel with the part where that hull planking has been sanded off and ends. I'll cut this off camera. And then, yeah, I just shove it on there, put it on, and then I cut off the end bit. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue it in and cut it off and all that. Alright. This thing's screaming at me low battery, so I'm going to have to change the battery. Peace out. Alrighty. So, in this little clip, try to use my phone as a mirror, then I accidentally take a picture of my hand. But, so, in my planking the bottom bits of this keel to make it look prettier, and it does look a lot prettier, I noticed a little something. So this side has some front space. This side does not. Well, there's a couple of ways I can deal with this. One is just to go cry in a corner, whatever it is kids are doing these days. I honestly don't know. Or I can go ahead and gamble away this thing looking nice and find my headphones. Sorry, not headphones. Goggles. You know, safety first and all that jazz. And do something a little different. Okay, so that's my preferred method there. So let's just go ahead. Right there. Alright, and then it seems to be that kind of angle, so that kind of angle. Where do you end up? Right up there. Right there. Alright. Now that I have that, I'm just going to get a general kind of trace of where I want to go. And I'm just going to essentially mill out with the Dremel that bit there. And so it's going to try to smooth out this bit here. That way I have something. So first, and I just do all this in time lapse because that Dremel is loud and I'm just doing more milling and more cutting and shaping. So, hey, if you made it this far, thank you very much for keeping up. You know, I guess I'm a little more engaging than I thought. Please tell me if you like this kind of format with more slow motion talk or not, too. Much appreciated. Thanks. Alright, so now it's about time that my experience with photo etch paid off. And that's what this little hinge bit is there. So, what it tells me to do is somehow secure this rudder to the ship with the hinges provided. And this hinge is, well, what I'm folding up now. So I'm trying to do is getting this to a fairly even V shape kind of thing. That'll be about right. Alright. Then I'm just trying to fit it onto this. I was just trying to get the bend just about right, because it's not going to be perfect, as you can see with all these others. And then, well, there we go. So that's how that kind of goes on there. Come on, get in there. Get in there. And then with a bit of cursing and swearing, there we go. Okay, not quite as awesome as that light, because I was hoping this would be just a little bit more to the... Come on. There we go. Alright, that's a little better. Gotta find just the right balance to this, you know? Just try to make it as symmetrical as I can, I guess. There we go, right out there. And then when I've kind of got that general idea how it's going to lay on, I go ahead and I grab some super glue and I make that permanent. And of course I got the super thick stuff right here. Now I tend to rail against the use of super glue just because my experience says, yeah, it'll bond anything, but the bond isn't particularly strong. But in this case, some bond is going to be better than none, and what I'm probably going to do is slip a little wood glue somewhere up where this rudder here sneaks into the rest of the boat, and that way it'll kind of hold itself together a little better at that point and make this be decorative, which I think is kind of the point. Otherwise, I think they'd have provided like some explicit instruction to put a wire through and some diagrams or something. Alrighty, and that is there, just about even and just about stuck. Perfect. One rudder. And now they do something related to the end of the boat. Alright, So, yeah, these instructions are pain, probably because I'm used to looking at pictures, and it's a bunch of reading with not many. So, yeah, it says build a reinforcement console using a 1.5 by 4mm by 10mm strip. I'll have to cut it from this. Glue it to the bowsprit above the shear strake. That's this guy right here, and I guess this is the bowsprit. And then going towards the keel. And then it says drill a 1.5mm hole through the center to accommodate the anchor chain. And it has this figure 12 thing here. Okay, yeah, that's your general thing. You want me to kind of round this puppy off. Okay. But I don't see, really, where exactly they seem to want me to put this. I had to look at the box art to find that. Now, again, this is my first wooden model ship kit. So, honestly, the fact that it's even holding together is pretty cool. But, yeah, I get the feeling that more pictures of where things go might be beneficial? I don't know. I'm weird. Alrighty, so kind of at an impasse of sorts here. Searching all through my lovely little pile of wood bits there that they provided. Doesn't seem to be a 1 by 2mm strip in there. I could either make one out of the 1x1s, or I can use some of the provided 3x1s and hope that that works out good. I'm going to go the route of creative, license and go with a 3x1 because I kind of like the rim that it creates with these little grating parts that I got to put in the deck. So that's what you're going to watch me do right about now, probably in time lapse. And after that, we shall see, huh? Alright, let's get this party started. Come on. There we go. I should move this over here, make sure this... yeah, I know. Goddamn millennials these days, and you won't pony up for a goddamn pocket mirror. You're killing the pocket mirror industry, Rich. Thanks, I'm glad to do my part. Alright, hold on, can I shy? Yeah, I should probably angle that just slightly up. Alrighty, here, and now, time-lapse time. Whee! So yeah, I just cut those out and then found that those little crates were really easy to slip out. And then I just cut these pieces to the appropriate size and glue them on. And I think it's in this time-lapse as well that I found out that I wanted to paint them black, because that I thought looked a lot better. So that's what I did. After, again, a lot of fiddling with these grate pieces. Another thing I do before putting them on the boat, I'm not sure if I show putting them on the boat in this or not, is that I actually sand down the edges a little bit, especially around the corners, to blend things in and make that go. So this time-lapse stuff is at 50 times speed, by the way. That's why I look like I've drank all the coffee and eaten all the sugar and maybe inhaled all the other white powders. Oh, you thought you were safe from my sense of humor in time-lapse? Nope. And here it ends. Huh. That thing made a weird noise. The camera just made a weird noise, and I was getting into a really good rant, too. It's the NSA. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that it was the NSA. Let's face it, none of us would be surprised. None of us would be surprised. Like, no one would be surprised. Not sure what they'd want to do with me. Isn't that a meme on the internet? Like, this is a shout out to my FBI agent. Alright, let's see. Okay. Joking aside, though, if you're still watching, wow, either I really am engaging, or you're a beast. Thank you. Or, again, a major fan, and again, thank you. So, here I am making, now what are called the belaying racks. Essentially, I guess these just had some pins that they held that they used to rig up on the boat. I actually watched this documentary thing about sailing vessels. Just got curious one day and wondered about how this thing kind of worked and held itself together and whatnot. And it was also part of, do I design my own sailing, model boat? And found that, well, the wife found this kit, so that's good. And, yep, there we go. Yep, so I mentioned this in the last time lapse. Yeah, this is where I sanded those grates down. So, yeah, but those pins, I think, hold various rigging in different positions. So you'll see me not just with the... so you may not have seen in the time lapses also, I had some trouble when I used the pin vise. It caused the wood to split. But the high speed of the Dremel allowed me not to split the wood when I was working with the... making those belaying racks, pins, and everything else. So, I've been using about 50 times speed in this, for this, version of the Mamoli Lexington playlist for this video. And, that's why it's so fast. But also, we're over like 4, I think it's 3 or 4 minutes. No, it's probably 3 minutes and change with, this took me a good 2 hours to do, give or take, considering the time lapse and everything. So there we go. As for all the other bits, a lot of the modeling I actually ended up taking a little film of me doing a little bit of it, then doing the rest off camera and such. And I do want to know what you like. Do you want to like everything at a normal speed? Now, don't do any time lapse. Do you like everything in time lapse? Perfecting the mix like I do now. And it'll always be subject to change. So here's an interesting bit. So those are posts that mount some of the racks on the deck, and I wanted to try to make them all the same height. So I was hoping maybe tape would let me hold. Didn't quite work. So then I started, using a mark of a pencil to guide some extra sawing, and that helped a little bit, but not as much as I'd have liked. It was definitely not perfect. So it got it a lot better, as you can maybe see, but it didn't get it perfect in the least. So, but there we go. It's a little better for when I go ahead and turn these into posts to support the other belaying racks on the deck. But that's going to be part of the next video. Yeah. Wow, even in the time-lapse-y bits, I'm noticing that I'm running out of things to talk about. So here's the, here's another use of that magnet board as kind of a fixture. I hope that using it as a kind of sanding guide would really help get those even. Or maybe it's more of a sort of milling guide to get those even, but it didn't. Alright, time for a normal speed outro. Alright, so, you made it this far. Hey, thanks for watching. This is the outro. So, as you can see, I added the 3 grates to the deck. I've added all these, they're called belaying pin racks. Also added this here. And I did that last bit of planking and some of the decorative stuff that it told me to do. Added the rudder and a bit of reshaping, and these are ready to become the posts I use to mount, I guess, even more belaying racks to the thing. So, that all being said, I am Rich. This is my channel, RMX Models. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Mamoli Lexington Part 7. Next comes Part 8. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and do the YouTube dance, have a drink, and go to bed. So, like, share, subscribe, hooray! Peace out.